What's up, everybody? It is myself and Mr. Chris Stonadge for maybe a bit of paddywhackery. Maybe not, Chris. I don't know. I can't decide. I don't like paddywhackery. And for anyone that doesn't know what paddywhackery is, it's basically what we do to the Americans when they come over. You know, inflatable sheeps under the arm and all this malarkey. Just turralalasha, where's me Lucky Charms? Yeah, I don't buy into the Paddy's Day stuff, Chris. You were saying to me actually before we started that you thought it was a big deal over here.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I had no idea. All I've seen is like the Simpsons stuff and like people dressing up as leprechauns and really playing on the stereotype. But you know, I'm going out for a few Guinnesses after this. Maybe go watch the West Ham game. But yeah, it's going to be I know Mr. Murphy's enjoying himself. I can't wait to watch the stream tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was setting himself up for there, did he? When he agreed to do the, I was like, oh, I'll happily substitute you coming in on Thursday for you doing the early Champions League draw on Friday. He's gonna be dying, God. But he's young. He's only 25 years of age, Chris. He should be well able for it.
Mate, I'm 19 and I can't deal with a hangover. It's
They're
honestly
also eating cola cocks at the minute, Chris. It's important we let the viewers know that.
I can neither confirm or deny that information.
Oh, I can absolutely confirm Chris is eating some cola willies at the minute.
I would show it, but it would probably get us demonetized. So
nah, we're already demonetized, mate.
Yeah.
No, technically we are. We had a management company that we were working with for the last year, and we can't, like, today was the day that contract terminated. So for the next day or two, I think we're demonetized completely while they change it back around to our payment side. So willy away, Chris, willy away.
All right, let's get out. So let me clear this by saying I originally got these for my brother, but I found him another present now for his birthday. But yeah, here is the Cola Willy, guys.
I'm glad to see that they've modelled it on me, Chris.
I was gonna say, I hope you don't have a brown ending to it though, Craig.
No, and again for the bins, we need much bigger. You know, think space hopper. That's what Absolutely. I like. That's what I like to think. Yeah. So how are we?
Everyone expected that coming into the stream at 6:30 on a Thursday evening to see a Cola Willy, but that's
There we go. So we have a little chat about the game last night before we talk about some of the crazy transfer links. You know, the Marcus Rashford one we'll get to later is the most out there one. But how are we feeling after last night? I mean, job done, first and foremost.
Big game, big win. All I've been feeling is positivity all day. I've been humming the Bobby Firmino chant every step on my walk to university and back. It's all good vibes, mate. It just wins breed confidence. Confidence breeds happiness, and yeah, we're all in a very, very good way today. And I think every Liverpool fan's the same.
Did we see actually the England call-ups? There was a few glaring omissions there actually from no Sancho, but Maguire's still robbing a living. He's in there somehow.
I honestly haven't seen the England squad. This is how much I care about it.
No Rashford, no Sancho.
No Sancho? Really?
Yeah, no Sancho, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Let me just have a look at this. Is Ramsdale in there?
Yeah. Ramsdale, Pickford, and Pope.
Jesus Christ. This is the pits. To be fair, it's probably the best England team there's been in years, but Pickford, Pope, Ramsdale, Trent, okay, Cody, Gay. Mark Gay's in there.
Yeah. First call-up.
Fair enough. He's played well for Palace this year. Reece James, Maguire, Mings. I don't know how he's frauded his way in there. Luke Shaw, Where's Tomori? Why's Tomori not been picked?
I don't know. There's been some strange decision making in there from Mr. I'm stealing a living Southgate, but there we go. Actually, do you know what? That leads me into something, a conversation that I wanted to have. So this Trent defending myth that Klopp was at pains to talk about last night, and I love the way he said he'd knock somebody over if they were to say that to him, but it does get me thinking, like, people forget about the systems that teams play. So for England, as an example, I could absolutely see why Reece James would be in Gareth Southgate's team or Kieran Trippier ahead of Trent. I can see it because their style is more suited to the way Southgate plays. But this myth that people have that Trent can't defend, it's really starting to bug me. Like, it's very, very, very much bugging me because he is nowhere near as bad at defensive work as some people are making out.
I thought it'd be about 4 or 5 years since people thought that Trent couldn't defend. Really, you see the positions he takes up, you see the roles he takes, but he's quite an exceptional defender, I would say, because to play as advanced as he does and yet to be as solid as he usually is on that right hand side is quite remarkable. Like, I think the only times where he's really under pressure is when you have a top class player who doesn't particularly track back as much, and then they have more space in behind. But then you've still got Matip on that side to cover for him, or Virgil, depending on which way from a set piece. So look, he is unreal as both a system player and as an individual. So I think it's a quite ridiculous claim, to be honest, Glenn.
Sorry, I was laughing at a comment in here. This one. I never wake and bake, mate. Never. Too early in the day. I always wait till night time. But no, I'm still just easing myself into the day. Like 6:30 to me is like 8 a.m. I think to normal people. So I'm just easing my way into the day. But no, I'm absolutely fully sober at this particular moment. Unlike Mr. Crosby, by the way, who's out and about enjoying a couple of pints with his mates, and Mr. Paddy Murphy, who's out, and I don't begrudge them it, but they're young men.
Mr. Murphy was out. Mr. Murphy was out before midday.
You love to see it. I mean, he's 25. He should be.
Exactly, as it should be. I was in university today, sadly, which is grim. I'd rather be out before midday, but things happen, and I'm a professional.
It's party time central in Ireland this weekend because the double bank holiday. So Thursday, Friday's the bank holidays. Then you've got your Saturday, Sundays. So it's going to be carnage in this country. And you know what, mate? I'm dreading it because I'm one of the first flights out of Dublin on Monday morning. Like, our flight's like 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that, Monday morning. Something like that. I still don't know what time the fucking flight's at. I should really look at that. So, yeah, I'm expecting The Walking Dead at the airport. I'm expecting to see a lot of people after being over in Ireland for the Paddy's Day festivities on their way home, and it could be messy. But I'll be fresh as a daisy with no sleep.
Yeah. Have the kids come with you?
Yep. All four of us, right.
All four of you will be buzzing and ready to go and having a great week away and leaving the channel
10 days, Chris. 10 days.
Oh, 10 days. Oh, even more work for me to do. Can't believe
10
it.
days, yeah. We our daughter, as you know, she's sitting her final exams in June, so we thought this would be a nice little break before she really gets into the study for the last few months, and just give her a chance to reset and have a bit of fun with the fam. So it's gonna be good. You and Paddy Murphy gonna be holding down the fort. It's they're always quiet international breaks, in fairness. But let's get stuck into last night, Chris. I feel like I'm waking up now, mate. I feel like the 2 coffees I've had are kicked in. I've had a baby sham and I don't give a fuck. I haven't. But anyway, last night, I would say naivety, but I think it's just the stupidity of some Arsenal fans feeling like they somehow were hard done by again in that game last night. And I listened to Mikel Arteta's post-match interview, and what I agree with him that I thought Arsenal certainly contained us quite well in the first half. I don't think it was so much a case of Arsenal playing very well, more a case of us just being a little bit tired and just being a little bit not at it from the off. I mean, Arsenal are a good team this season. I give them full credit for the improvements Arteta has made. They are there and playing to see, but I still look back at it. I watched the highlights again. I don't get this Martinelli had Trent on toast business. I still don't get it. Like, I mean, he cut inside 3 times, I think, which doesn't count technically in your stats as being dribbled past. He did dribble past them, but ultimately it came to nothing. And that's where my argument here is. If he had him on toast, they didn't score. What was their XG? It must have been fairly low.
The thing is, in the first half, I thought Arteta's game plan was amazing. In a way to deal with Liverpool. They left Matip, Van Dijk, Trent and Robertson alone, but as soon as Thiago, Fabinho and Henderson got on the ball, they swarmed. They swarmed those 3 because they know that Thiago and Henderson were mostly the way to the forwards, especially with Diaz, Jota and Mane didn't retain the ball hardly at all. They were quite poor in the first half, but I think in the second half we worked it out a little better. The way that we interchanged with the ball, we moved it quicker. We made sure that they didn't have enough time to get on to Thiago, and that is why we scored our first goal, because Thiago managed to find 2 or 3 seconds of space and pass the ball through. I don't think Arsenal particularly after the first half particularly did anything right. And I'm sure their XG won't be that high. And I don't understand how they feel hard done by whatsoever, to be honest with you. They were just out.
Their XG was something like 0.08 or something pathetically low.
They were outplayed. They were outplayed. And I think they've got to deal with that because they've been outplayed the last 5 or 6 times they've played Liverpool. I mean, Diogo Jota, I think the aggregate score since Jota's joined is like 6-1 to Jota against Arsenal. Their team.
Can I clear something up, actually? I have a couple of questions to answer in the live chat, but just beforehand. So I read a stat last night, and I'm fairly sure it was on The Athletic because that's usually my go-to reading. It could have been the Echo, though, but one of them. And it said that Jota has scored 7 goals in 7 games for Liverpool against Arsenal. I was shocked to think that he's played 7 games for Liverpool against Arsenal already. That I was like, what? How has Jota played 7 times against Arsenal for us already?
I suppose if you think about it, we played them in the Community Shield when he first joined. I think he came on as a substitute that day. We played against them in the Cup. I don't think he played in the Community Shield. I don't think he was there at that point. But we played against them in the Cup game. We played them 4 times in the league. So I suppose just about 7 games. Yeah, must be. But it seems crazy to think that, actually. 7 times in 2 seasons.
I was thinking that surely they meant Firmino, and that was a typo. But I kept reading, and then they went on to speak about Firmino's great record, obviously, against Arsenal. But yeah, I think it could have been the Athletic. It was either the Athletic or the Echo. It was one of them. One of the two. They're the only things I think I read last night after the game. So it was on one of those two.
So I think they've counted. So I've gone on to 11v11, which is a good site for matches. So 28th September 2020, he actually scored in that one, didn't he? The 3-1. 0-0 in the League Cup. Of course, we've had the 2 League Cup semi-finals. I didn't even thought that.
Yes, that makes sense now.
Yeah, there we go.
Liam, thank you. No, I didn't. I didn't see the justice for the Hillsborough banner from the Villarreal players, but class acts. And I tell you what, Unai Emery needs to start getting some more respect put on his name because he's a European god. I'm going to say it. He is. I don't care that he failed at Arsenal. The man is way better than what was shown at Arsenal. I mean, he deserves immense credit for that last night. To go and beat Juventus 3-0 in Turin and see a side through to the quarterfinals. I mean, I know people will look at it and go, we want Villarreal, we want Benfica, but don't underestimate Villarreal. They're difficult to break down.
They're a really top outfit. And I think, Unai Emery's got a lot of disrespect, and I don't like to say things and put accusations out there, but it's because of this whole good evening stuff, right? He got a lot of disrespect, and he was taken the mick out of by the English media. But I'll tell you what, he even got Arsenal to a Europa League final, which was, quite a remarkable achievement because they had Alex Iwobi in the midfield. Like you see what happens to Alex Iwobi when he goes to Everton, right? But yeah, he's a top coach. I don't think England's his best place to be. There is certain coaches who don't work in certain countries. I don't think he was at his peak at Arsenal, but the way that he's performed at Sevilla and Villarreal, especially in Europe, is just top notch.
You mean the man owns the Europa League? Like, he just owns that competition. It's ridiculous. So I think he deserves every credit. That's a massive result. Look, yes, Juventus aren't what they once were, but to go there still and beat them the way they did, 3-0, full credit. A couple of questions that I want to go through the chat. So Scotty said, any Liverpool bars in Alicante? He's gone over there. Do you know what, Scotty? My uncles have a couple of houses over in Alicante. Actually, I'm thinking of trying to blag one of them off them for me, Chris, Paddy, and Connor for an end of season jolly up. But I will find out, mate, and I'll let you know. So other than that, I can't give you an answer, buddy. But maybe somebody else knows. I know there's a lot of Irish people that head over towards Alicante, Murcia. Craig, what's this? Craig, might see you out and about. Crazy busy in the airport this week. 31k due out on Sunday. Wow. I'm out Monday morning, Ella. So hopefully the queues aren't too bad, although Ella works in the airport, by the way. She works in Dublin Airport. I'm shitting myself about the queues and stuff. I hate it. That's my worst part of any holiday, Chris, is the airport. I hate it.
Whenever I go on a holiday, usually we drive over places. But me and Izzy are flying in the summer to Dublin, so I'm proper nervous about that. First time ever going anywhere by myself in an airport, and that's like all I've seen is like angry airport customer compilations. I don't know if you've ever watched them; they're really entertaining.
Who are you flying with?
I don't know. That's
Come on. Bring it. You turn off the heat and I forgot.
I think
Just came in the door.
I think it's Aer Lingus. I want to say Aer Lingus.
Oh, if you're flying with Aer Lingus, that's yeah. I mean, you don't even need your passport. Oh, you don't have a driver's license, do you?
No, I have a provisional though.
Yeah, I mean, with Aer Lingus, the last time I travelled with them, you could go to England or Ireland with your driver's license. Don't know if that's changed since the leaving.
Yeah, I think I'm Ryanair on the way and Aer Lingus on the way back.
Oh, Ryanair, you definitely need a passport. But here's a bit of good news for you. You can get duty free because you're coming to Ireland from England. So yeah, you can get the cheap drink. Bottle of last time I went in January, 13, 14 euro for a litre bottle of Smirnoff, as an example, or a bottle of Captain Morgan's.
Can't complain with that. I'm not a massive spirits fan though, so it'll have to be lager. If there's cheap lager, I'm drunk. I do drink wine. I'll have some wine. That's a good plan, actually.
Hey, if you're looking for some gin, maybe give Ella a shout. Ella give you some good gin recommendations in the airport. She was telling me that McGregor's stuff is piss, his whiskey. She said keep away from it. It's pish. And I take Ella's word because that's where Ella works in the airport. So, right, look, let's talk about this Rashford link for a minute, because on the face of it looks a bit sensationalist, but we're not going to sign a United player, let alone Marcus Rashford. And I would argue with his form this season, we shouldn't be going near Marcus Rashford.
I think it would be... I don't know, Craig, because I'm going to take away the fact that he's a Man United player and the fact that it's never going to happen. As a player, I would love Marcus Rashford at Liverpool.
Even watching him this year.
I think you take this year out of it. I think at his peak under Mourinho and his first year under Ollie, Rashford was devastating. Really devastating. I just think we can forget this year. There's clearly a lot of stuff has got to him off the field and on it. I mean, he's got a huge responsibility on his shoulders. I think Jurgen Klopp would welcome a player like Marcus Rashford and a man like Marcus Rashford in.
Oh, look, I'm not arguing about the man's credentials as a human being. He is a legend, no doubt about that. What he's done for hungry kids and poor kids in the UK, he will always have my respect for that. But I'm looking at this purely from a footballing perspective, and I don't know. I mean, if he could say he'd get back to his previous form, I'd say, all right, I can see where you're coming from. But distractions, if you come to Liverpool, those distractions aren't going to become any less, I would say.
And I think in context, if he was a Manchester United player going to Liverpool, especially a Manchester-born player, someone who's come through the academy, the scrutiny on him would be unreal. Like, he would get so much hate from Man United fans. He gets so much hate now, which I just think is ridiculous. If I saw our fans behaving like that towards Curtis Jones or Trent, it would just be, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you saw the video of them outside with Rashford, and he just walked away. He didn't pay them any attention because they were abusing him. Look, I think at his peak, he's
I did see the video.
No, yeah, but they were really disrespecting him. But he's a class player, and he's a class act on his day. I just don't know whether his day will be ever again, really, in terms of at his real peak.
I mean, look, I agree with this from Robert. At the moment, Marcus Rashford, the man, is better than Marcus Rashford, the footballer, at the moment. But look, he will always have all of our admiration. That goes without saying. And I wonder, Chris, looking at it in the big picture, there was also links to PSG. That could be a good move from just not from the project, but just to remove him from the bubble of the UK media. Maybe just take him away for a little bit, for a year or two, allow him to carry on his work and maybe focus. Maybe PSG isn't the best example, but my case is more that it moves him outside the English media bubble.
I think he'd do well at like a Dortmund or Bayern.
Yeah, he'd do he'd be loved at a Dortmund, mate. He'd be absolutely idolised.
Absolutely. But I don't think they've really got the facilities for that unless Haaland goes, which is likely. He's looking very likely this summer. But yeah, I personally think he might end up at somewhere like Arsenal. Which I don't think
suffered enough, Chris. He's suffered enough already. already. The poor
Bless
lad.
the poor man, but I think it just smells of an Arsenal signing, doesn't it? A player who's slightly fallen off from a real top position at a bigger club, goes down to Arsenal, and just rides out the wave of his career. I think he'd do well under Arteta, though.
A couple of bits I want to talk about. Remind me to give you guys the Gavi update that I got earlier on, by the way. Don't let me forget about that. While we're still on Manchester United and Rashford, I mean, I've been reading a couple of articles speaking about a rebuild at Manchester United. I mean,
Another one,
yeah. I've been reading a few of them, and I'm just thinking, how many of these have we had? Much money has been spunked, and how many managers have they had there? I mean, rebuild. I mean, oh man, I'm glad that I'm not a United fan, because looking at that club right now, it's a mess. It's a mess, and there's a lot of high earners there to be moved on if they have a rebuild. And like, who the fuck's going to take? They're going to have to get rid of Maguire. They have to.
They won't, Craig. You can't sell an £80 million defender. Like, who's going to pay what they're paying him in wages? Who's going to pay an acceptable transfer fee to then make an acceptable loss? It won't happen. Like, he's their captain, Craig. He's captain fantastic, captain leader legend. They'll be saying this.
Well, they're going to have to switch to a back three then. They're going to have to do something to try and... I mean, I couldn't even believe that they started that game with like Lindelof on the bench. Why didn't they go Lindelof for Ram? Maguire's just a liability at the minute.
Honestly, and I think his confidence is shot. I'm of the opinion that Harry Maguire at Leicester was a very good defender, like very good. I saw him at Anfield, and when we beat them 2-1, Mo scored twice, but it was only when Mo sort of sussed the other side of their defense out, because Maguire was man of the match in that game. He was just fantastic. The way he brought the ball out of the defense. He reminded me of Matip, like
relax.
No, I'm talking like Matip is now. Maguire was that then. He was powerful. He drove through midfield. And I wanted him at Liverpool. I'm not lying. At the time, I wanted him at Liverpool. I know people will be revisionist and say they never would, but I would have had it. I would have had him, but now he's been really exposed. His lack of pace is exposed. Ranić's style of play doesn't suit him. And he's just really shown like why he came from Hull.
It's another what's that dude that's still at Manchester United stealing a living?
Wait, Begovic is starting for Everton.
Wow, who's the guy came from Blackburn? Centre back, Man United.
Phil Jones.
Yeah, he's the new Phil Jones. That's all he is. And on Phil Jones, Chris, I will admit what you've just admitted. When he was at Blackburn, I wanted him at Liverpool. I won't lie, I did. I wanted him at Liverpool, but
we nearly got him, didn't we? I'm pretty sure
we were in the conversation. We were definitely in the conversation at the time, but yeah, United made a big play for him, and he was thought of as being the next great generational centre back for England at the time. And I mean, yeah, it didn't really work out. I want to just congratulate Ella on this, actually. Congratulations, Ella. That's class.
Yes, in.
The more referees, the better. I mean, I hope you don't get a lot of the abuse that most of the referees seem to get, especially in inter-county games and stuff and inter-county club games. But yeah, congratulations. That's class. Well done. Mr. Stonadge here, a qualified referee himself. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I don't do it much anymore, mind, because I only did it really as an earner. I didn't like doing it. The amount of abuse we got.
What was the earner, actually? What was the pay?
So in Herefordshire, actually, I'm going to expose them because they were the lowest paying county for referees in the entirety of the UK. £15 a match, which is appalling, like genuinely terrible. Cardiff is about
that, or
huh?
Is there travel expenses or anything on top of that? Or
yeah, it's like very, very cheap. And the Herefordshire referee, that's why there's a very big lack of refereeing in Herefordshire, because like no one wants to be paid pittance to get abused at. Like I will take it for the 30 quid I get paid in Cardiff. Like sound, no problem. But 15 in Herefordshire.
It was more than that when I was playing football. Like referees, I think were getting 30 quid when I was playing for like low-level Dublin District Schoolboy League games. Like,
it's just ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. 15 quid wouldn't even cover washing your kit and your fucking car or your bus fare to and from. Like, that's ridiculous.
It's mental, isn't it? It's mental. But like, and it's even cheaper for like junior games. I think when my mate first started, when he was, I think, 16, he was getting paid like £8 for like an under 13s game, which is mental.
€40 for a junior hurling or football match. It's about £33.
They know how to pay people. I think it'll take a hike now purely because of the living costs, but it's mental. Honestly, it was like I can sit here now and this is enjoyable, and earn a bit from this. I'd rather do that for
I mean,
I'd do this.
Well, to be fair, you earn the money here, Chris, with the abuse you receive from us.
Yeah, but that's funny abuse. Like I'll take any abuse about me, but like the things I've had said about my mother on a
that
football.
Was just by Paddy.
That's true, actually. To be fair, actually, comparatively, maybe the football people were less than what Mr. Murphy gives me.
There you go. Right, let's move on to Gavi, by the way, because I promised our Discord group, and I've given them the update already, but I promised them that I would let them know if I heard back on Gavi, and I did hear back from Gavi today and I sent you one voice note, Chris, from a very prominent journalist. Would we agree?
Yes, I would.
I don't fuck about when it comes to my Spanish sources, I won't reveal who it is, but you've heard the voice now, Chris. I'm not making it up. It does exist. And it says, to paraphrase it, it goes a little something like this. They want to keep Gavi. Xavi loves him, but they have drawn a line in the sand with the finances because they're trying to renegotiate Araujo. They're trying to renegotiate Gavi. And while it probably wouldn't be in the best interests of Gavi to move abroad at this point in his career, it hasn't been ruled out, the possibility of it. That's where we are. That's what I've heard. So I can't say whether this 6 million fee or 6 million wages, has been talked about or not. That I don't know. But what I can say to you is Barca want to keep him, but there is certainly a possibility that if somebody was to come in with an offer, he could move because of the finances. And if you add into that apparently there's and this wasn't in my voice note, by the way, that I got. Apparently they're still trying to figure out a way that they can afford Haaland. Then maybe you could see, okay, if they could figure out a way to free up money for Haaland, who would have a buyout clause as per Spanish contract law there, as per what Mina Raiola wants. Let's wait and see. Maybe. But I don't think Liverpool would move for a 17-year-old for that kind of money yet, if I'm being really honest.
I don't. I'm just shaking my head at the way Barcelona run their football club. Like, they're in this financial situation and they're trying to work out how they can afford Erling Haaland. Like, surely you'd be working out ways to try and sustain your club first, rather than, bring in someone who's going to be taking.
Look at it this way: if they got, let's say, 50 million quid for Gavi, as an example, just throwing it out there, and they brought in Haaland. Now, obviously, it wouldn't cover that, but let's say that they moved Araujo or somebody else on, and they could cover that. Maybe I can understand it because they've got Pedri, obviously. They've got Frankie de Jong there. So if you're looking at areas of the pitch that they could maybe afford to lose a young prodigy, central midfield could be it.
I think they're mental if they do it, though. I really, really do. But we saw it with how Pedri got his contract. He was touting himself out, or his agent was, in the summer and previously before that. And he got his new contract. I think Gavi's just holding Barcelona to ransom, to be honest with you. Wants to be paid what he's worth, and that's fair enough. But he is 17 years old, and it's a little bit worrying why he's worrying so much about money right now in his career when he's got probably 20 years of earning a lot more than what he will do, But fair enough to him.
They do also have that Spotify money, by the way. They've announced that deal now for the Spotify Camp Nou and for the kits and training kits for the men's and women's for the next 3 years. So there is that 300 and something million. And apparently that deal with Spotify actually has a load of clauses in it that link to how many Barca fans sign up to Spotify and all this other kind of stuff that I'm sure is way over our heads. But yeah, that is another source of income that they're after freeing up, as well as a bank loan, I think. But you're right, they haven't learned lessons by the looks of it.
It just screams like a shot in the arm that they're trying to get. Like, I look at the way our club is run, and I don't think we would ever try and offload, say we tried to offload Curtis Jones to try and sign a player who's going to be on 3 times his money, and and just ruin our wage structure and ruin everything that we're trying to do. Why do they need a striker anyway? Aubameyang's banging them in for them.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
he's
don't
like
get it.
120. He's not going to be there that long. And I'd say Memphis could be on his way out as well.
How many players are they going to have left? Is it just going to be Haaland and vibes?
Do you want to hear something else that I read today that nearly made me fall off my chair laughing? That there was an article that said Hazard has a soft spot for Arsenal, and that Arsenal are lining up a summer move for Eden Hazard. He has a soft spot, all right, but it ain't for Arsenal. It's in his fucking midriff.
I mean, we're speaking from experience here, Craig. Come on.
I mean, you know what, pot kettle black and all, but
nah. Didn't he have a massive laugh at Arsenal or something? Was that a meme?
We all have, Chris. You've got to be more specific.
True. To be fair, there was like this meme and he just burst out laughing. I think it was Tottenham actually. Arsenal surely wouldn't sign Hazard. No way. Not in this day and age. In this new built team that Arteta's putting together, to buy a player like Hazard would just make no sense. Like, there's no way. What? That's still.
I go one further. To buy Eden Hazard would make no sense. Just full stop.
I don't know. A club like, I don't know, West Ham, for example, that'd be a great signing for them, I think.
Well, how much do you pay for a 31, 32, maybe even older Eden Hazard?
Is he 31? I'm pretty sure.
I think he's 33, maybe. Am I wrong at that? 32, 33?
He is 31.
So when's his birthday?
January. So he's just turned 31.
So yeah, would you really feel comfortable if you're any Premier League club in the top 7, 8, where you're going out there and spunking? And they'd want a significant amount, Chris, because they signed him for €100 million, didn't they?
They did. It's one of the most puzzling signings in recent years, to be honest with you. Hazard was at Chelsea was unbelievable for the years that he didn't not score in, obviously. But yeah, he was a generational player for Chelsea. But the timing of the signing from Real Madrid was poor, in my opinion. They gave him the number 7. They tried to emulate the whole Ronaldo thing. It was never going to happen.
They held up their "We Want Mbappe" signs.
Yeah.
They did. And it's unveiling. They were holding up "We Want Mbappe" signs in the crowd. That's the level of nonsense that I speak about when players go over to Spain. It's just so petty over there at times. There is no real loyalty. They even turned on Ronaldo at one point. I mean, fuck me. Real Madrid fans turned on Cristiano Ronaldo, who literally delivered them everything they could have wished for over his time there. He was unbelievable in Real Madrid, like ridiculous.
And I know he showed them disrespect as well, but Gareth Bale, Gareth Bale's influence at Real Madrid is underestimated. He's got, I think, 150 goals for them, which is ridiculous. Like, he was part of one of the massive reasons in 2 European finals why they won it. Now, you tell me we would never show that much disrespect to someone like Alan Kennedy, who had such an impact in 2 European finals. Like, no chance. They've got so little respect for their players. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why any footballer outside of maybe South Americans, for the cultural aspect, would want to go and play there. I mean, the weather.
Goals he scored for them in 250 games, which is a good record.
Say again?
106 goals in 250 games for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too shabby. I'll never forget the run around the outside of the pitch against Barcelona, though.
That Copa del Rey final.
That was ridiculous.
That was prime Bale. Prime Bale was so good, man.
I want to move on to a couple more transfer links. Divock Origi. So, again, some reports, coming from the Milan side. Actually, interestingly, one report came out and said that there is no clause in Divock Origi's contract to extend. I think that's not true. I think there is absolutely a clause in his contract, but I don't think he'll play the number of Premier League games required for Liverpool to be able to trigger the clause in his contract. So it does look like he could be AC Milan bound, which is probably a good move for Divock. I mean, yeah, I know they've still got Zlatan Ibrahimovic there, but I could see Divock doing well in Italy at AC Milan.
Oh, definitely. He won't be the main man either, which I think suits him. I don't think in his spells at Wolfsburg and Lille, his latter spell at Lille, he was the main guy. He was the number 9. He didn't do great, but having sort of not the impact role, but being second or third choice, I think is the perfect thing for Divock because there's no pressure on him. He can come on in the last 15 minutes and play, Planet Divock's game. And he will do that. And I think AC Milan is probably the perfect level of move for him.
We just barely touched on this last night, but the squad depth that we have at the minute, Chris, to be able to leave Milner out, to be able to leave Elliott out, to leave Origi out, Costas out. I mean, that just goes to show the competition that we have right now. It's pretty I was a little bit disappointed not to see Elliott because I always love to see Elliott in the squad or in the team. But I think it's clever management from Klopp because he did it with Curtis Jones, a couple of months back, took him out for 3-4 games. Did it to Elliott. Elliott wasn't supposed to be part of the League Cup final squad, as we know, but because of Thiago pulling up with an injury in the warm-up, he then came in, played some minutes. But yeah, just what the reason I'm bringing this up, Chris, is because you touched on something last night that's so true. One signing has done all of this perceived amazing squad, but it's only really been spoken about so much since Luis Diaz came in.
It's true. It really, really is. All of a sudden, instead of seeing potentially a young forward, a kid like Cade Gordon potentially on the bench, you're seeing, Divock Origi not even making the bench. With that one signing, of course, Elliott coming back helps it as well. But it's just ridiculous the change in mentality from a squad, from a fan base that was criticizing squad depth so heavily. But it's what happens when injuries don't happen, Craig. Like it's pot luck at the end of the day. In terms of injuries, like the amount of injuries we had last season, people were slating our squad depth. Well, if you think about it, we had Wijnaldum last year, and there was other players as well who we've sold, and we haven't really gained many players in comparison in volume. So therefore, it was there all along, but we just needed the luck and the timing to see it, and we have done.
Yeah, and long may it continue. I'm
Hopefully.
I'm a bit nervous about this international break coming up. Usually, when players go away from their clubs, shithousery starts and agents start talking even more. So I'm a bit nervous to see what a certain player's representative has in store when he is away playing in 2 World Cup playoffs against Senegal. So we're going to have one unhappy boy at the end of this international break, no matter what.
Yeah, it's AFCON final 2.0, isn't it?
Yeah, somebody's gonna. One country ain't qualifying, mate. So we're gonna have one player who's gonna be heartbroken. Obviously,
I hope. To be honest, I hope Egypt go through because Senegal won. I know they won't, but Senegal won the final, and it would just be nice for Mo to have something over Sadio for this time. Because I'm sure he's been gloating.
Yeah, but if you look at the squads, I mean, Senegal have the better squad. I mean, it's all on Mo and the keeper, basically, with Egypt.
That's true. However, you saw in AFCON, like the collectiveness of the Egyptian squad was just unbelievable. Like, it felt like they couldn't be beaten in terms of getting scored past. Like they took games right to the last minute. I don't think they're good at scoring goals, which is probably the main part of playing football. But yeah, the defensive unit, Egypt were excellent in AFCON, I thought.
Yeah, though they again, good point about the some of the parts being better than the individual players, but yeah, I don't know. I'm worried because I don't know if it's affected Mohamed Salah's form since he's come home from the AFCON, but I feel like it has. I feel like it's hurt him deeply because he really wanted to do it for his country and he really wanted to have a celebration. So yeah, I wonder. Let's say Senegal were to beat them over 2 legs. I wonder would it impact him? Would he feel like a certain part of his career is after taking a bit of a knock through obviously no fault of the clubs or anything, but that's a tough one, isn't it?
I think the whole contract situation is impacting him a lot more than AFCON. Mo Salah's a professional at the end of the day. He gets up, he lives and breathes football. He goes for swims at 2 a.m. for fun. He's that kind of nutter. I don't think a defeat would knock him that much in terms of, his form for his club. There's still, as he said, there's 3 more trophies to go, and it's in our hands. And I just genuinely think he'll do that. I think this whole contract stuff, though, is a little bit more, ingrained because it's a personal situation rather than a footballing situation. It's how much money he's getting paid. It's what his agent's doing. It's what the club are doing, rather than what he's doing. And I think when he's in control of the situation, he's fine. I just don't think he feels like, in my opinion, it doesn't look like he feels he's in control of the contract stuff, which is tiring. I know.
The reason I wonder if it would impact him so much is because I don't know Mohamed Salah, obviously, but you look at him and he looks like, obviously, he's a proud Egyptian man. And I feel like he takes that weight of his country and carries it so well. And I feel like if he lost the cup final with Liverpool, I feel like, we'd understand, he'd understand. But to not have a World Cup maybe coming up, will Egypt have probably the greatest player they've ever had on the park for them? I just feel like maybe that would be something that would play on his mind. Now, of course, he's a professional. I absolutely agree with you there, and he will get on with it, but it would affect anybody, especially 2 knockbacks internationally, potentially like that. So let's wait and see what happens, I suppose. But there's a question here from a Chelsea fan that he wants to know, would you rather a Champions League or a Premier League? For me...
I thought he said Owen Morgan for a second. I thought, what?
Oh, the cricketer is robbed off us.
Yeah. The England captain, mate.
I know. Another one is another. Oh,
I don't claim to be English, by the way.
Right, so I'm Ed. What was the other guy's name before him? Ed
Joyce.
Yes, Ed Joyce. He was from Bray, actually. Same place Darragh O'Brien's from. Yeah, he's nicked him as well.
Oh, there you go. But Premier League or Champions League? That's a tough one.
Do you know what? My answer all season has been Champions League, but I think if you promised me City were winning the Champions League, I'd probably change my mind and say the league now because of the monumental effort the lads have put in. I'm in a point, Chris, where as long as we win one of those 2, I think it's a successful season.
I mean, it's such a difficult one, isn't it? I think it would be gutting if we didn't win either of them. But I don't think we could say it's an unsuccessful season, considering we've won the League Cup, and then I think we'll win the FA Cup as well. If we win that double, I think you're talking a 7 out of 10 season for me. I think that counts as a success. But then if you win one of those, it becomes a very memorable time. However difficult it is to recognise in the moment. For me, I've also swayed away from. I'm saying Premier League. Purely because we didn't get to celebrate that with a trophy parade, and I want to go up to Liverpool and witness that, because last time we won a big trophy, the Champions League, in terms of like being able to parade, I was too hungover, despite not being of legal age. I was too hungover the next day to go up to the parade, so I really want to go and witness one of those.
So we've both gone Premier League. Then we've both gone to change camps and gone.
I think the reason is we were so far behind, and they did it to us in 18-19. I want to do it to them. We owe them. It's big time.
Which one would have hurt more to lose out to City in? So let's say it came down to the 2 of us, as it looks like it is for the Premier League, and let's say we were both in the Champions League final. Which one would hurt more to lose out to City with?
Oh,
I would go as far as to say the Champions League would be worse to lose to City.
It would be so much worse. Honestly, I would hate to lose in a final to them. The only time we've ever played them, we've never played Pep in a final, have we? Which is pretty crazy to think about it. The 2 best teams, arguably ever, in Premier League history, have never played each other in a final, which is madness. The Champions League would hurt far more, just purely because they've never won it before, and I don't want them to win it ever. It would mean a victory for oil money and a victory for corruption, and we don't want that. Yeah,
I mean, I'd happily sacrifice the FA Cup, let them have that. If they lost in a Champions League semi-final and we pipped them to the Premier League, that'd be a very decent end to the season. I'd take that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind losing to them in the semi-final, but yeah. No, we paid Pellegrini in the Carling Cup, and then Community Shield, I suppose. Does that count?
No,
I don't think we can count that.
doesn't count. I don't count that in our trophy hall when I'm talking about trophies. So,
If it
nah,
means we get ahead of United, then of course I'll count it. But I
we're
think we
already
are
ahead of
anyway.
United by 2, so you don't need to
Have
worry
you
about
seen
that.
the Everton team, by the way?
No, I
It
haven't.
is dreadful. They are bad. Oh my god.
Go on, give us a chuckle.
Begovic in goal, a back three of Keane, Holgate, and Godfrey, all of which, by the way, are shit.
Why
I'm
is
not having
Begovic
any.
to go, by the way? Is Pickford ill or
Pickford's
something?
got COVID, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Seamus Coleman of wing back.
Don't you say a word. Brilliant. We love Seamus Coleman.
He was brilliant, Craig. It's not 2015 anymore. He's 7 years too old. Bless him. Alan Ducore and Alex Iwobi at the other wing back spot.
The only player there I rate in any way is Alan. In any way.
Oh, he's a dirty bastard as well, though, isn't he? He is.
I love a snidey fucker, mate. I love a snidey fucker.
And up front, Richarlison, Damari Gray, and Anthony Gordon. They are bad. They're going down
again.
Are they? Is he injured? Let's have a look. Is he on the bench? He's on the bench.
Why? Why is Calvert-Lewin on the bench? He's your best player by a country mile.
They've also got Andy Lonergan on the bench, which is what I find funny.
Oh my days! This is a huge. I mean, I think Carragher said he thinks this is their biggest game in 20 years tonight against Newcastle.
Maybe. Well, if they don't win this, have you seen their fixture list? It's
not great. It's not great. We've got Will Sprankdom, and I know they've got a whole host of difficult games.
If they don't win this, they've got West Ham away, Burnley away, which I don't see them getting anything from. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people will say that's probably their easiest fixture, but I don't see them getting anything from that. United at home. To be fair, they might get something from that. Leicester at home, then us away, Chelsea at home, Leicester away, and then Brentford at home. Brentford at home after that is probably their easiest fixture, which is madness.
Wow. Interesting.
If they don't win tonight.
By the way, we've only got one more game before City.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, good point. International break. Oh, no. It's nervy, isn't it? It's nervy. That game's going to tick down, especially because it's straight after an international break. It's going to be really, really slow getting up to
early kickoff as well. 12:30 kickoff after the international break before the City game. They've got Burnley. Who have we got again? Is it Palace?
Watford, isn't it?
Oh, I know it's a 12:30 kickoff anyway.
Yeah, Watford's a 12:30 kickoff, I think. Because I told my parents that I'm not getting up at 3:00 to go to that game. Watford's on the 2nd of April, 12:30.
Oh God, such a horrible time.
And it's it's Roy Hodgson. It's
Oh, we're winning that. We're winning that easy.
I agree. I think we are. Oh, it's a 4:30 kickoff, Man City.
Against Burnley away, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, no, us against Man City's at 4:30.
Oh yeah, Sunday. That has to be a prime spot, definitely.
But yeah, Watford,
prime, I mean peak spot. I don't mean Amazon Prime. Sorry.
yeah. City Burnley's a 3:00 kickoff. So,
I mean, is that at Turf Moor?
Yeah. So they might. Nah, they're not doing anything. Nah.
I mean, I didn't think Palace were going to do that neither, Chris.
Nah, I'm sorry. Burnley bend over backwards for City. There's no chance. No chance in hell. Come on, Craig. Let's not even fantasize about it. They can't
afford to bend over backwards for anyone, though. They're in a relegation battle.
But they do for City, man. If City get an early goal, they're winning 5 or 6-0.
But Daishi's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, so am I.
Well, you're not managing Burnley, Chris.
That's true, but it's not going to happen. Let's not even talk about it.
Weghorst, you were giving him the big one. You were talking about Weghorst being the greatest player that ever graced the football pitch.
Weghorst is class. No, let's just clarify this. He's quality, but nah, it's not happening.
Yeah, I know. I know. You're right. I'll have to dream, Chris. Because we play first. So we'll go top if we beat Watford. Do you know, and this hurts even more, mate, because we should be sitting here now talking about Liverpool being top of the league by a point. That's what really hurts. Because that bastard penalty decision.
Well, yeah, but then there's no guarantee that City don't go and score another one, to be fair. Because that's what I rationale. Like, angry City is not a good City. Like, they're finished. Everyone else is finished if they get angry. So I'm scared. I'm scared of that game. I'm scared of everything. Just get this season over and done with.
I know, mate. I'm a failure. I'm gonna be on holidays for the next week, and I'm gonna be obsessed with the run in. Family be talking to me, and all I'm gonna see is literally like their heads substituted for potential opposition's badges. You know, City badge and whoever we get in the draw. Who do you want in the draw tomorrow before we finish up? Actually,
Benfica. I'm not gonna lie. We've got unfinished business with them. 2006, they knocked us out. We need to return, and we've battered their rivals.
That was only game.
Her only game. She should never go ever again.
Why do you think that's been her only game, Chris? Come on. We've brought her brother actually over to that one with us.
Has he ever been since?
I think he came with me to one more game afterwards, if my memory's correct.
Yeah, I've obviously wasn't properly sentient then. I was only 4, but I watched it. I watched it on like I'm a weird guy. I sometimes just sit and watch season reviews all day, and I watched that game and it gives me so much pain, because they weren't even that good. That's really annoying thing. But yeah, we'll batter them, I think, and I quite actually like to avoid Villarreal, but they'd probably be the second on my list.
You know, the poxiest draw for us would be this, right? Chelsea, and then set up for a semi against City. If it ends up like that, mate, that's a horrible draw. But I've got a funny feeling we're not going to avoid the side of City, whether it be the quarters or the semis, because they're drawing both. So we'll know our run.
I'd rather have them on our side of the draw, to be honest, Craig. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to play them in the final. No way.
I think Real Madrid would knock out Man City.
I don't.
I think Bayern could knock out Man City.
If City get Bayern, that's the ideal draw, I think. Because I fancy us against Bayern. I think tactically they're not as astute as they once were. Nagelsmann's a good manager.
I don't want Letty either, by the way.
I don't know, see? I don't know.
We beat them. We definitely beat them. I feel you on that one. Yeah, we beat them. But
it would be the worst 100. Craig, you'd even start losing hair. Like, they're so frustrating.
I'd go get a hair transplant just so I can pull it all out again.
Simeone football, man. It's horrible.
I take Villarreal. I take them or Benfica. Actually, do you know what? I'd even take Atletico. If I went in order, Benfica, Villarreal, Atletico, then Bayern, then both the English teams, because I don't want to play the English teams.
So Real Madrid's the bottom.
Sorry, I forgot about Real. I put Real in 4th. So I go, in order of preference, Benfica, Villarreal, Atletico, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, City. That would be the order going from preferable to least preferable.
I'd rather play Chelsea than Bayern. Purely because I think the whole turmoil at that club at the moment is going to distract them. They all have to like get a luxury coach up to Anfield instead of flying. Bless their little cotton socks. So yeah, I'd rather Chelsea because I still think we're so much better than them. We should have beaten them in both of the games we played against them this season. City are just the number one avoid at all costs.
We've already done that, mate. I mean, fair play to him. If he goes to AC Milan, I think it'll work out well. I think it's a good move, and I think Chris agreed as well. So whatever happens with Divock, we just wish him the best wherever he ends up. I mean, we love the man, and he's frustrated the shit out of me at times. Don't get me wrong, but I love what he's done, and I love seeing a happy Divock. So look, to finish up then, Paddy will be doing the draw tomorrow. Well, put it this way, scheduled
Friday
to do the draw tomorrow.
Channel
here. I'll be on Twitch tonight at 10 o'clock, but I'm not going to stream FIFA. I can't do it to myself. I can't. I'm just going to be on there chatting transfers and stuff.
If
If you want
get
to
Murphy
come
to do it,
on, huh?
Get Paddy to do it. Get Paddy to stream FIFA.
I fuck, mate. Look, I just thought to myself, it's Thursday. It's Paddy's night. You're going away in a few days. Every time you do a FIFA stream, you come off with a headache and angry. And I don't want to feel angry and have a headache. So I can't be arsed. I
You
hate
do a
it.
Football Manager save.
Oh, that's even more dull, mate. That's more boring.
How dare you? How dare you? I feel offended.
I'm not a gamer, mate. This is not my thing. I don't
Football
like
Manager's
it.
not a game. It's a way of life.
It's a fucking sad way of life.
No, Craig. No. Everyone in the chat, you always want to see Football Manager. Everyone wants to see it. Don't lie to me.
I mean, the only game that really grabs my attention is two things: Tetris and Mario Kart. Tetris is so satisfying because you get all these lovely lines of stuff that disappear. It's beautiful.
Please
so
stream
satisfying.
Mario Kart. Please stream Mario Kart, Craig. We all want to
see
it.
I want to. I want to stream Mario Kart, but I want to play against Discord members. I want to play against our members on Mario Kart.
Mate, incredible. That would be sick. Oh, we should do Among Us. Among Us would be good.
Yeah, Goldbridge and Drawdy were often trying to get me to play Among Us, and also GTA, which we do have, by the way. We've got the
Among Us is really easy to play as well. I'd back it, Craig. Get Lucas on as well.
He plays it.
Get Lucas on, and he can teach you the ways.
And he lives on Fortnite. I won't lie. He absolutely just is forever playing Fortnite. So yeah, look, I'm gonna go get ready for this Everton game, which I'm gonna watch. Interestingly, I'll flick between that and the West Ham Sevilla game actually, because just a cracking game, and I hope West Ham go through. I do. I'd love to see them progress. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be on Twitch 10 o'clock tonight. Mr. Paddy Murphy will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. to the draw. I'll be doing a couple of streams tomorrow.
Don't
probably yes. You're away. You're at Izzy's folks tomorrow, correct?
Yeah. I'm gonna go see a gig in Bristol, and then go in there. So it's gonna be fun.
Nice, enjoy, and hope to see you guys at 10 o'clock tonight on Twitch. Thank you to Mr. Chris Stonadge, definitely the superior Stonadge. We'll give it to him. He had me on the TV in his room, so he gets points for that. So look, thank you guys for tuning in. You're which?
In my living room, so everyone
I was trying to figure out what room it was, because the wall with the little bit of extra space threw me, because there was an arc in the wall. That threw me there, Chris. I was thinking it's too big for a bedroom.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this room is tiny, so I can't wait to move out.
Do drop a like on the video. Do hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys very much. Thank you to Chris. See you soon. Bye-bye.